Oh, he sent me home that day. So, you know, that's when I went, got my kids, and then I waited in the parking lot for Buddy to finish working. So the next day when I go into work, mind you, nobody like ever seen me like that at the women's hospital. So when I walk in, everybody's like side-eyeing me. Like, I'm walking in like, like, oh, you know, like, I know my manager's gonna hear about it, but you know, when I tell you I was a talk at the main hospital and at the women's hospital, because when I walked in, everybody was like side-eyeing me like I'm about to get fired. Like, I was like, why everybody looking at me like that? So as soon as I said hello to the shift manager, she was like, oh, T want to see you. T want to see you. I was like, damn it. I was like, that, oh, he really told on me. So when I walk in there, it's the kitchen manager and the other supervisor in there. I walk in, I said T, and I sat down. I was like, T, you know how I am. I come in, I work, I'm very respectful. I don't sit there and gossip. I don't talk to nobody. I don't bother nobody. He was so he was so disrespectful to me, and that's one thing I don't tolerate is disrespect. She was like, Ludy, what he said, you were going off on him. I was like, nah, that can't be Ludy that works in my kitchen, because Ludy barely says a word to anybody. Like, there's no way. Like, she could not. She was like, it was hard for her to believe, because a lot of people already had complained about that particular manager, but she was like, for him to go to that extreme, saying that I got loud with him, I got disrespectful with him. I was like, I didn't get loud. He disrespected me first. I just returned the favor, because he kept yelling at me about bringing the trays down, but I'm not you. And I even told him the first time he started talking sideways to me, I even told him, I don't know all the floors in the main hospital. You acting like I be in the hospital just for fun. So she was like, and I just kind of put my head down, and I was like, because I really like my job. Like, I didn't want to get fired for that, but I'm like, you're not going to, dude, I gave you 3 chances. And you still was coming at me wrong. She was like, Ludy, I just wanted to make sure that it was true, because we've never seen that part of you before. So we was kind of shocked when we heard it, and we was like, nah, that couldn't have been Ludy. But, you know, he had other people was like, you know, his ass kissers, I can say, was like, yeah, she was in there like being disrespectful, but they didn't say I was yelling. I was like, nah, I wasn't yelling. I mean, yeah, I talk loud, but I wasn't yelling. Oh, y'all would know if I was yelling. Like, they was like, we was just, you're good, you know, just because a lot of people in there were saying that he was being disrespectful and talking to everybody any type of way. But we were trying to figure out, like, is it the same Ludy that works over here? Because the same Ludy, we've never seen that type of we've never seen that before out of her. So that's many of what I go off on. And a lot of I'll say this too, I'm a very respectable person. Like, until you push my buttons, or until you disrespect me, or until you like put me in a position where I have to put you in your position, that's the only way you will see. Other than that, like, I'll be goofing off, I'll be quiet, I'll be smiling. Life is too hard sometimes, and I always try to separate my home life and my work life, because especially around those times, I was so miserable and so unhappy in my home life. I did not want it to affect my work life, so I kept the peace at my work life, because at home was so horrible. Vice versa, even when my house got peaceful, my work life got horrible. Like, and I did not want to mash the two because I needed a safe place to go, because I never had a safe space for a very long time. And the people that I kept trusting, that I thought I could go to, ended up not being my safe place. So really, I was battling a lot of stuff by myself, internally. Like, even a lot of stuff that I was going through, my family didn't even know. Like, this will be probably, like, these stories will probably be the first time they actually heard what really went in my life when I was here. Because a lot of times, like, I was too embarrassed. And then my sister couldn't help me. All my mom would do was give me a lecture. And, you know, my brother had his own life going on. So it was like So when you come at me in a disrespectful way, you're gonna get what you're putting out. So the next following thing that happens, this is why I say, like, I should have seen the signs before with being like the single friend. Not the, because I was still, you know, with him or whatever, but it was like, even my best friend started to show, like, she couldn't trust me around her husband. And it was like, what would make you think something like that? Yeah, that's your sisters, that's like that, but that's because they was raised with your mom, and that's how y'all lineage walk around, sleeping with each other's boyfriends and talking to each other's men and stuff like that. In my household, we don't do stuff like that. I always, and then again, even if I was attracted to your man, I would never cross that line. Never. So there's a point where my car seat, the motor in my car seat goes out. So basically the chair is like close to the steering wheel. I can't sit close to the steering wheel because I had to share cars for so many years with dudes who always had their seat leaned back, and they were always taller than me. So he would drive my car to drop me off, or, you know, vice versa. So I tried to fix it myself. I went on YouTube, looked up the video, and because that's the type of person I am. Because I see how, especially when my best friend did what she did at the time, that's why I'll pay money. If I gotta pay, you know, the mechanic their regular price and not get a discount, I'll do that. Because I hate the simple fact of these married females, or these females that's in relationship, especially when you start doing well for yourself, now you become a threat, or their husband see you as whatever their husband see you as. And that was one thing about me, especially when that shit was happening at the group home, where their significant others was hitting me up and trying to talk to me. As soon as, I always distance myself from people. Once I start seeing you act like real funny, because like I said, even back then, like, I was almost like 300, but around that time too, I started shedding weight like crazy. Going to the gym and, you know, dropping off the kids, and I was shedding weight like crazy. Like, I think I had ended up losing like 50 pounds around that time. So once I see people act, I'm good. I'll just go to the shop and go get my shit fixed. Like, I ain't got time. I don't have time.